We are the weirdos, mister.
This video, it was a live stream. It was 55 minutes long. She does actually answer a question I answered. It's towards the end. It's going to be a little weird situation. But I wanted to start this by saying I'm generally Marlena's #1 hater. And I have to say it that way. Because I have hated so many of the things that she's done in the community that I think negatively impacted the community. I get why people like her. It's just it's not my thing. I'm not into it. And so for me, I'm like, nah, girl, just go take a nap or whatever and just leave everybody alone. So for those of y'all who don't know, Marlena Stell is opening up Makeup Geek Academy. And when she opened it, it sounded a whole lot like her, basically that she's opening an MLM. That's what it sounds like. And anyone who tried to talk to her about it, she'd be like, nope, this isn't an MLM, da-da-da-da. And it's just been a rough
side eye.
Oh.
Criminal offensive.
Oh.
Side eye.
Not the side eye. Oh my gosh, I'm giggling now. I haven't had giggles for that. Criminal offensive side eye. But yeah, the whole situation has been a bit rough because she's been trying to say that it is absolutely not an MLM, and we're all just but girl, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, everything that you have on your site says otherwise. So I think that she does come across, I didn't get to see the beginning of it, we're about to find out. I think she is going to end up coming across with more information that makes more sense, I think, is what I'm going to say. She does end up coming across with stuff that doesn't turn out to be an MLM. So we're all going to judge this together and see what has happened here. So let's go. All right. This is, again, it's a 55-minute live stream. 55:41. Also, just a side note, this looks like because I had to change the settings so that it would play properly until I get a new laptop. I keep having to save up for another thing for this, but I have to save up for a new
one in person.
How about now?
You can give me all the hard questions, which I know there's going to be a lot today. I came prepared and just walk you through the community and all of that. So I see you guys. Okay, I'm glad everyone is hopping on. So as I wait a little bit for the rest of you all to come on, what I want to do is hope I figure this out. Okay, I want to do a screen share and just walk you guys through what the Academy looks like on the back end, because I've not been able to do that in the announcement video that we have yet. So I'm going to do that really quick. It's not a sales pitch. I really just want you guys to see what the Academy actually is, so you know that it's not just classes. And I'll explain a little bit more, and then I'll take all of your questions.
All right, girl.
Even all of the hard ones, I promise I will take them all. So let me do a screen share.
She does not do good at the screen shares.
And just show you guys.
For most of them. So hold on. Let me just.
This one here.
She does actually look good in this. Again, I'm sorry that it looks like hot trash.
I hope you guys can see. There we go. I hope you guys can see all of this. So I am going to try to go back and forth between the two. So once everyone gets access to the Academy, you get an account and you log in, and you have on the left-hand side, you have all of your classes, depending on what, level that you signed up for, if it was beginner up to advanced. And
I know this is just a petty thing. It's not just her. It's everyone who does this. We work together. We created this thing. I'm I don't give a shit. Tell me what. I don't care. I don't care. You're doing too much. I don't care. I promise you. These are generally the things I don't give a about. Maybe because I'm very much a let's get to the point type of person. But I hope I'm afraid to put the thing up any higher because I changed the latency down so that it wouldn't be all hot trashy. I have upgraded my internet. I still need a new laptop, so we shall see how all of this plays out. I can attempt to change the quality because I changed it, so it's on auto. So we'll see. Girl, okay, hit play.
And did that open a new tab? It did. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
So
have
then
patience.
underneath, you even have all of your classes that you can watch. When you click on the video itself, it takes you to the video that you can play.
I think what's annoying to me is like, there are definitely things where I'm like, yes, you can learn this online. Okay. And I said this last night, having taken an online, like a certification course for makeup, I would never want to take one online. And this isn't against her. This is for everyone who does this. I just wouldn't want to do it online. And it's like, there's stuff I think that you can definitely glean from this. I'm not going to like be a complete hater, even though I am one. I think there's stuff that you can glean from this, but if you're wanting to like move towards becoming like a makeup artist, I just think that you have to have hands-on experience. And I do say this about jobs, like jobs in the arts, quite a bit, because, and I think that it should be like this for like every single career period. I really do think that you should be able to get hands-on experience before you decide that that's where you want to go, right? Because you can think to yourself like, oh, I want to be a makeup artist. And this is anybody, like, again, because I'm attempting to be like a smidgen less biased. I'm not going to remove my bias from her, but I'm attempting to be a smidgen less biased because, like I said at the beginning of this, I'm Marlena Stell, the online personality's #1 hater. So I am attempting to like slide that bias a little bit to the side, just like those panties, and see if I can just try to be kind of calmer and nicer. But what I will say for me, having just seen this little piece, I personally am not I think that you have to be able to get your hands on shit. There's some of this where I think she's correct in that you can learn this online, but I just think that if doing makeup artistry is something you want to do, I just feel like you would have to hands-on, because you don't know how much you will or will not like this constant standing. Okay, standing for a long time is sucky. I don't know if you will know that you like being that close to other people, especially if they sweaty. People start sweating when you're putting makeup on them. They get nervous. Like, I don't know if you like, people start getting nervous because you're that close to them. They are nervous because of your proximity, and you're not really nervous, but like they start getting sweaty. They might have a strong perfume or cologne. Like, there's a lot of different things that you have to like hands on that to know. And I don't feel like this will help you with that. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm again, #1 hater. Numero uno hater. I don't know how to say hater in Spanish or French or German. Let's go.
Every class has a custom syllabus that accompanies all of the education that we're working through. So that's downloaded.
Let's get to where she's talking about.
So there's different levels to the program that you kids can start with. The bottom tier one, we started at $299, and I know that is a lot of money. And the reason for that is it has a lot of projects in there, all of the videos, the syllabuses, the community, the digital magazine. There's all of these things. And then on top of that, I'm really working with brands to try to get you guys exclusive discounts, coupons, fun contests, giveaways, like hosting live events with you guys where we hang out, and even real person events. We want to do that. I want to go to, maybe it's New York or it's Miami or something like that. Hey guys, we're doing a meetup in Miami. Let's meet up.
Okay, this is something I would actually like to say to Marlena. If she ever saw this, I would be like, Marlena, that sounds like you should have just started a Patreon. Like, you didn't have to do all of this. And I'm not being a hater. This is like me being like very honest. Just start a Patreon. See, Kiara said the same thing. You should have just started a Patreon. You could literally be doing all of this in a Patreon. People would pay a monthly fee for that. Like, you would have saved yourself so much trouble if you had just started a Patreon. And you could have multiple tiers. You could have 30 tiers on your Patreon. And it would just like, tier 1, you get to be in a live stream. Tier 2, you get to be in a live stream and do this. Tier 3, you get to be like everything from tier 1 and 2 plus this. Tier 4, like, girl, you should have just started a Patreon. Because listen, I'm so looking forward to when Christmas is over, y'all, because first of all, now that I've been able to get the camera and have someone helping me with editing, because I think this one for sure this is the one. This is the one we gonna edit. We gonna put this one up for the tubes of the U. But I think she would have been better off doing a Patreon, because you can like do those and have Zoom courses, all of that. And like, and the thing is, it cuts down on all of these costs for like a special website, like all that. You could have kept all of that for you so that you could like go through and teach people this, and then just keep rotating that hoe. Do you know what I mean? And then like that would be helpful too, because if somebody was in your Patreon, you know, at this point in time and whatever, you could just keep adding new stuff to it. You can be like, this part is for makeup and this part is for the business. And like, I don't know why you didn't do that. I don't like, okay, do your thing, girl. But I'm just saying, just start a Patreon. Like, we're going to go back into like doing makeup playtimes, etc. when the holidays are over. Speaking of makeup, I did just buy 2 palettes from Cosmic Brushes because I just woke up and I was like, I'm gonna buy them, leave me alone, thank you, bye.
Let's have fun. You know, I will have some products to give away. I want it to be a really fun community. So that's what it's all about. It's more than just classes. It's about bringing everyone together, pros, content creators, all of you guys. So that's what it all is about. So
I like her eyeliner in this.
So I will stop for a second because I do want to take some questions. I know there's a lot of them coming in. So let's see. Sorry, I'm going to try to go through and pick a few of these questions. Okay. So let's address the MLM thing, because that's the biggest
that's what we're here for, girl.
First off, I owe you guys a massive apology.
Yes, you do.
In no way ever was I designing to have an MLM set up for the brand, but I do understand how that has come across and how we have represented ourselves in that way, and that is not my goal at all. It never has been. So I owe you guys an apology for that.
Yes.
In the past 15 years of me having Makeup Geek as a brand and me being on YouTube, I've never once had a brand that was an MLM, that's a tongue twister, format. I
would also like to say, could you just like stop calling everything Makeup Geek? It's a really old name. No offense, but like that brand died. And I feel like if we're going to talk about business, I think you should let that go. And just like, you could have just called it Stell Makeup Academy. Do you know, there were just things you could have done. Okay, moving on.
Talked about brands on my channel. In any YouTube video that I've done, I've never aligned myself with that model. So I would never continue that in the future. However, I know that this has been very coming across as an MLM model, and that is not what I align myself with at all. I find them predatory, and I'm not just saying this to make everyone happy. I genuinely have never done that in the past. And so to do that now would not align with how I presented myself in the last several years. However, I know that there was a page that got out there that had MLM copy. It was makeupgeekacademy.com/affiliates. So when we designed the website, it was all hosted on different URLs and it was live. And that was our first mistake. None of that should have been live. It should have been a draft. And so that what I have to take ownership of. It should have never been live about that.
But babes, you're going to teach me about business, right? You're going to teach me about business. The thing is, if you're going to teach me about business, love, I need to know that you can handle yours. So if something shouldn't have been live, you're the one who's going to teach me. Why would I follow you at this point? I'm saying everybody makes mistakes, right? Yeah, but you're trying to teach me from your mistakes that you keep making, love. Confused. It's just a ball of confusion for me over here. We're confused. We don't really know what's going on because we're trying to believe you, right? And you're like, I'm going to teach you about business, but you can't handle your own business. Do you see what I'm saying, love? I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying, you know, if you can't handle yours, how can you help me handle mine, love? Just a question. A channel points redeemed. I get weird. Listen, I get weird in this bitch. It is. Listen, let me live my life.
But that page we never had hosted on our site. So if you go to the Academy site, let me pull it up here and see if I can do a screen share with you guys.
Yeah.
Where's all of my tabs here? Let me open up a new tab and just go to makeupgeekacademy.com.
I
So
will
when you
say
go
too
through the site,
that she does
that
seem
link to that page
genuinely stressed that people think that it's an MLM. I don't know what she thought was gonna happen. I am, like I said, her number one hater, but she, just based on looking at her in this and how she's looked in other videos, she does seem like stressed and trying to like alleviate the situation. She probably, like, judging by how she's like breathing and whatnot, like I'm not a body language expert. I'm just taking this based off of like how I have seen her behave. She's probably got sweaty pits right now. I understand, ma'am. Continue your explanation.
It was never shown on our site. We never linked to it. We never had plans of that going live, but it did exist out there. I'm not sure how someone found it. I think you would have had to type that in URL, but regardless of all of that, that page should not have existed. The copy on that page, I never approved. I never wrote that. However, I have to take ownership as a brand owner for that being out there, because being a brand owner, the buck stops with me. So no matter what happens, I can't pass blame of any of that. All I can say is that should not have been out there, and that
this might be a smidgen rude, but like, Jacqueline, you should take notes. That was really shitty, because like Jacqueline did take notes. She took notes and she just didn't follow them. But like, okay. Oh, let's go.
Definitely is not wording that I approved, that I aligned with. So as soon as we realized that it got out there, we took it down. So we didn't take it down just because everyone was complaining about that and we were getting pushback on it. It was because we genuinely did not know that anyone had that page out there. We didn't even know that that was still physical because we didn't have it linked to from our site. The other issue with that is we had two affiliate pages. There was one that was...
I'm also going to say, just in her defense, I do feel like she is maintaining eye contact with the camera. I don't know what that says. You know what I mean? Like, the body language girlies are going to be out here being like, boo. But I do think that the fact that she's able to maintain constant eye contact while talking about that particular subject does seem like she is being honest. You know, it does seem like she is telling the truth about what the fuck happened with that wild ass page. I know that people had said previously that she's worked with, and that was in chat, so allegedly that she sold Mary Kay and Avon. I will give that a pass. Honestly, I will give that a pass because I feel like everybody's auntie sold Mary Kay and Avon and not like sold it. Like most of them were like, hell, my own mom was a Mary Kay and she had it because she liked the makeup. So she just signed up just so she could buy the shit at cost. Like that. Literally the reason. Avon and Mary Kay, like, I give a pass on those two in particular because they've been around for fucking ever. But I've always kind of given a pass because like virtually everybody's auntie sells that. I know that like you might be like, oh, you're a hypocrite ass bitch. I know. What are you talking about? I'm aware. Looking in my eye. I'm a hypocrite and I'm okay with that. But I think everybody's auntie does that shit. And I'm like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know a lot of aunties who has an auntie who, are you lucky enough to be one of the people who has an auntie that like doesn't like, who hasn't sold that shit? I'm just asking. I'm not being mean. Like, y'all, again, number one hater. But I always give a pass to that because a lot of people, like, there's stuff from Avon that I like and stuff from Mary Kay I like. I would have a Lucky Luciano scarf if it wasn't for this, like, extra emollient night cream that Mary Kay sold. Like, I got into a car accident. My ex-friend Stacy was driving like a fucking asshole in my car that wasn't paid for and smashed into some shit hard as fuck. And the airbag came out, smashed me in my face, and I got a cut like an L on my fucking face. I used the Mary Kay extra emollient night cream on that bitch because I couldn't afford to go to the doctor, even though like people were sitting there being like, oh, you need to go to the doctor. That's why this eye is fucked up to this day. So because the airbag also scratched my fucking eyeball. So it took care of the L, right? Like, it is what it is. Be mad. But like, so I'm not going to really be shitty about that to anyone ever. Because they actually did have good products. And I feel like when we're talking about MLMs, I do feel like there is a need. We should start separating like some of the OG shit that is actually a good product that more people are like actually buy them because they want the product. Like Mary Kay, people buy that because they like the product. Avon, people buy that because they like the product. Like regular people buy, like swear by some of that makeup. It's not the same as some of this other shit. Like lip sense is bullshit, and you're just like literally putting fucking paint thinner on your mouth. Not literally, but like you're putting figuratively paint thinner on your mouth. It's hideous. Disgusting. So like I feel like we do I'm not validating it. No, I'm not validating it. I am saying that we do need to like pay attention though to the difference between products actually working and being worth a shit that people buy because they actually, like, a large amount of people buy them, and then you have this shit, you know, you have lip sense. And I do like the Cutco knives. Like people still buy those. Like people go online and buy that shit. A lot of the OG shit doesn't even actually like really need its like downline of people anymore because they just have websites now. And people just go online and buy it. Like you don't even have to have a downline. But I just say all of that to say, I don't really fucking shit on anybody for Mary Kay and Avon. Like that's been around. I will beat your ass for Pampered Chef though. I don't give a fuck how good those pots and pans are and like all that. I will beat your ass because Pampered Chef people are some of the worst out there. Y'all are almost worse than the sex toy girlies. Like I just want to say that. Like it's very annoying. Just won't let anybody live. You got to be out there. Well, do you like this casserole? No, I hate it. I'm going to tell you I hate it just because I don't want to hear what the fuck you have to say about your Pampered Chef, okay?
was .com/affiliate, .com/affiliate with an S. There was 2 pages we had, and we didn't know that one with the S was the one that was getting all this traction everyone was finding. So as soon as I saw that, I asked the guys, I was like, where is this copy coming from? What happened here? And they were like, we haven't seen that at all. We're not finding this on this site. And I sent them a screenshot that was circulating around online. They saw it. They're like, that's that dummy page that we had when we originally had started the website. That was not anything that we even went through in the final renditions of the website. We went through and took the initial draft of the website that the designer had put together. It had all of this wording on there, and we went through page by page and adjusted it to make sure that was in line what the Academy actually was. That page we didn't do because we were not using that page. So I don't know if that explains it to you all. Let me go back to, sorry, I was sitting on the
She's doing like a little bit of the corporate gulp.
Live streaming. Okay. So let me answer some questions.
Now we have the question and answer period.
Okay, sorry. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Chelsea. Okay, so Livy, this is a valid question. So if the text was a mistake, why are you saying that you've eliminated the 3% fee? So it wasn't actually a mistake and you're just backtracking now. So the 3% fee, how we had it set up was it was a commission-based program. So we had a 10% just flat fee, and we had an additional bonus of a 3%. What they called it was a bonus fee. It was a one-time thing. It didn't go down multiple layers. And so that's where I was mistaken, was that I was thinking if this isn't an MLM because we weren't going down multiple layers. For example, if someone had referred someone and they got that extra 3% one-time fee for that, or not fee, bonus, but it stops there. It's not like that person under them then sells something and it keeps going up the ladder. That's not how it was set up at all. However,
so wait, is she saying that the referral fee is a one-time, like you can get it one time, or that when you refer someone, you get 3% for each person that you refer, but you're not going to get any money from anybody that they refer, which is fine because that's how literally everything works. That's really what I'm asking. Because like I could refer y'all to Marco Polo today and I would like receive, I think they give me money off or something, like free months or some shit. I've had Marco Polo so long now, I don't even know how they're charging me. I just have it. But, if that's the case, then like that is how almost everything works. Like every time you refer somebody, you do get money. So I do see that. Okay. All right, Marlena, let's keep going.
Even having that secondary reversion thing, even though my intention was not in any way to be some sort of MLM process, I realized that that's how that is even though it wasn't multiple layers, it was one, and that still is aligning with an MLM, and that's not what I wanted at all. So as soon as I was realizing that was how that was coming across, I cut it right away because that's not a model that I want to follow. So yes, we did have.
Also, just a side petty note, but I hate everybody who has those particular nails and you talk with your hands. It grosses me the fuck out. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. There's something about it. It's like the shininess. It like does something to my sensory sensation. It just feels kind of slimy. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. I stare at people's hands way too much when I like in everything. It's a fixation I have. I don't like. It's not creepy. It's not like, oh, your hand. But I do look at your hands. I'm not fixing the situation, but it's not creepy. But but I really wish that she, like, if it's not painted, it's something about the way that the light hits those clear ones that, like, it does something to my belly. Like, it fucks up my stomach when I see it. I know it's a weird thing. It's not her fault, because I've seen this in multiple people's videos where they're talking with their hands and they have those kind of clearish, and it just messes up my stomach. It's just something I end up paying attention to way too much, and I try not to look at it because it's literally right now fucking up my stomach, and it's okay, you know. We'll just keep going. Like, I just wanted to say that if y'all see me like, or if I mute suddenly, like, I'm getting gassy from it. It's fine. It's fine.
Of a secondary reversion. It was not multiple levels, but we've already cut that. And what I did is just cut that secondary piece and increase the original commission for the influencer. So instead of 10%, now I've told the team, let's do 15% just one time. Now, when influencers go to sign up, or content creators sign up for the academy, they are not directed to that page at all. We had my affiliate manager would reach out to them directly and set themselves up in another portal. And I'll show you guys what that page looks like. So that whole page that had that awful copy and all that was never sent out to our affiliates. We never linked to it at all. I want to see what tab I have to show you guys.
I do wish you had a more stable platform, because it is a
lot of tabs that I have open.
Stressful.
Sorry, give me 1 second, you guys. The page.
Is anybody else like stressed out by the amount of like
boing,
boing?
I have to be on Chrome, and I'm usually on Safari, but YouTube would not let me
do
live on Safari. Okay,
no,
let me do a screen share again.
Because Safari lets you ad block.
Come on, Chrome. Okay, so let me do a screen share. So
listen, y'all.
Okay, here we go.
Just a quick side note. Another one. She is mad stressed. If you can't tell that she is like mad stressed out right now, like every time she has to go grab something, she's like, please don't fucking hate me. And like, I get it. Like, it's mad stressful when everybody's just like, you have an MLM, and like there's multiple posts in BGC about this, like multiple posts after post after post after post after post. Like literally every post is like Marlena Stell and her shitty MLM, right? And there'll be like one being like, what makeup are you glad you bought? Nobody's fucking commenting on that. Everybody's underneath like, did you see this that came up? So so it's a good time. Yeah, let's like look at the she's like really trying to be calm, cool, and collected, but I can like feel the stress like literally through the screen. I don't know if that's just me, but I could feel like, anybody else? Is it just me? Am I just an asshole? Like,
so hopefully you guys can see this. So
this isn't me. That I didn't fuck it up.
That this was the sign up page for the affiliate program.
She can't.
Was not either one of those other two pages. Not the .com/affiliate.
She can't screen share.
Or affiliates. It was neither one. It was
this
specific page that we sent to affiliates if they were interested in being part of the Make a Geek program. They got sent this link specifically through email from my director of the affiliate program that they would sign up here and get set up with one URL link that would be their affiliate code. So it was still set up as an affiliate program.
I promise you,
we had in the past with.
You're not confused.
So I don't know if that answers your guys' question on that. A second.
Not you being like, oh my god, it's literally a back screen. I'm screaming. Yeah, so here's the thing. You're correct. Everything doesn't need to be a live stream. I understand why she wanted to do a live stream so that she could answer the questions live. So I am currently your unpaid live stream consultant, Marlena Stell. And I should do this because I am, in fact, your number one hater. And as your hater, I will want you to succeed so that then that way other people will hate you less. You see what I'm saying? So, number one. When you opt to do a live stream, I'm not the most organized person. Like you saw earlier in this shit, I forgot 2 of the things I needed to show you, like to be like, oh, this is the makeup on my face. I forgot. Okay. I was like, oopsie daisy. she really should have just, like, I think that she can do the live stream format, but I think that we didn't need to see any of the Makeup Academy screens, etc., etc. I think she would have done better if she, like, if I had the time, if this wasn't the holidays, I would literally go cut this shit to be the way that she should have done it. Because she should have just started with I understand that a lot of you have concerns that I have started an MLM. And then she should have started with talking about the website, that how she created it, the copy, all of that stuff. I actually get that. A lot of people who create, like, we all have like dummy things that we put stuff on, right? If you're making your stream elements, like if you're, whatever you're using to create your stream, you might put dummy elements on there as you try to figure out where you want stuff to go, right? If you're going to create a template, you might put some dummy shit here and there and there. I will say again, it does really suck that your team did not catch that and that it made it live. That is embarrassing. I would be humiliated. But just going through and explaining that's where you should have started. I don't really give a shit about the whole, you should have done all the Makeup Geek Academy shit at the end. That should have been the end, being like, now I can show you kind of what the courses look like and what we're doing here and why we're doing that. It should have started with you explaining like why this isn't an MLM, and then you should have just been taking questions. If you're not good at screen sharing, which a lot of people aren't, and there's nothing wrong with that, because live streaming is a bit of an art and there's always going to be problems with it. At that point, just like don't share that shit with us. We're fine. She did it live because of optics, to be honest. An edited video would have had her be composed and people would be even more like, sounds like an MLM, but okay. Yeah, and I think it's good that she did it live, because I do think that it's really, from my perspective, showing like the massive amount of stress that she's been under and how much she's trying to come across as like, this is not an MLM, guys, fucking chill. And like I can see it, like I can see like the stress that she's having of doing this. And she's taking like a lot of deep breaths. She's doing the corporate gulp a little bit, like trying to get it together. And yeah, I think a lot of people aren't good with technology. I feel like we are 15 minutes into this almost, and most of it was spent with her showing us like bullshit. Like the first, I feel like 10 minutes was her showing us the fucking site, which I don't give a fuck about. Like, not in a rude way, because what I came for was answers. So like if you start this by being like blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, don't do that. Like you should have put that at the end. You should have like address the elephant in the room first, because otherwise we're all just staring at the elephant. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm your live stream coordinator. You address the elephant, then everybody can stop staring at the elephant. We can get there, get some organization a little bit on how you're gonna put this shit up. It takes a minute. I've been doing this for a while. I'm not great. Nobody can afford this shit. I mean, except for other white ladies, which is fine. Hold on, let me switch it.
Okay, so this one, so HKNMS4S23. I'm trying to get your guys' username so you know who I'm
That's me and my weak ass.
I'm referring to. So she says, MLM concerns as she's working with a team known for creating sites with predatory MLMs and all of that. So I know that's where the issue is coming up. When I did the announcement video, I'd mentioned Tony Robbins' name, and that I should not have done. My mindset is the team I'm working with has built on the back-end platforms. I wanted to mention his name, not that I'm following his business model in any way. I don't align with any sort of MLM's pyramid schemes. The only reason I brought his name up so you guys knew on the back end, like the level of the platform, the website, and all of that was from a team that has worked with a level of someone of that magnitude. So you knew it wasn't just me slapping up classes, trying to charge you guys money from it. It was an actual
girl,
team
you've had
working
15
really
years
hard
experience.
to create a custom.
That's wild. Like you've had
program, a custom community that was specific to the Makeup Geek Academy.
Hold
that
on.
part had
Girl, you've had 15 years of experience. The thing is, the people who follow you, the people who like just fucking sniff your farts all day. I know that's a gross analogy, but I'm a gross person. The people who sniff your farts all day and drink your dirty bath water, they don't give a fuck who you work with. They really don't. They're here for you, period. Like, that's the point. Like they don't care that you've worked with Tony Robbins. Just say that you used his name because you thought that if you talked about it on that level, more people would be interested, and probably the MLM girlies would show up. But that's a story for another day. The point is, just say it. Like, I would never, like, there's so many, it's exactly, Feffy. She has 15 years of experience and was a pillar of the community before it all went to shit. And that's the thing. Why are you not relying on, like, you shouldn't have to mention a big name. Like, and I'm not, again, number one hater. I don't understand why you would even need to use anyone else's name. Your name is Marlena motherfucking Stell. Whether people love you or hate you, your name is Marlena Stell. That should have been enough. You would not be in this mess if you hadn't put shit together the way you put it together, and then we're like, I work with Tony Robbins. Girl, bye. You are Marlena Stell. It's so weird. It's weird. Like, you're like, I've been doing this for 15 years. Then lean on that, girl. This isn't that VH1 show, has-beens. That wasn't the name of the show, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
Nothing to do with Tony Robbins. It was not following his model at all, but I do understand how that's coming across because the Tony Robbins Association and all of that, but it's not following his business model. It was just the team that has built on the back end some platforms and websites and programs that have gone to the magnitude of someone at that level. So, sorry, let me try to find some other questions in here.
I think she went live directly through YouTube. I would also recommend not doing that.
Sorry.
Period.
So I'm trying to go down.
Like, I would definitely recommend,
Stephanie,
if you're going to go live, don't
work
go
with someone else. I could have, for sure. Absolutely. I chose to work with this team, you guys, and I got some behind the scenes footage that I was going to put together to show you guys that was like, here's all the work that we've done. I chose to work with this team for one, because I knew they had the skill set to build a custom community, something from scratch that has not been done before. And I do believe that this model has not been done in the beauty space. Has there been classes? Absolutely. Has there been, academies and things like that? But having an academy, digital magazine, and a community and events and bringing in brands to, give exclusive coupons and giveaways. I have not seen anything like that in that space. So I needed a team that had experience of at least building out things.
So then again, you haven't heard of Patreon. I'm not like, I don't say this to be mean. I say this because for any content creator, and I said this way back in the day when I first started my Patreon, I was like, it does not hurt to start a Patreon. And you don't have to, if you don't want to sit and talk about where you put the money, that's fine. You don't have to. It's like your fucking business. But I feel like if you want, like, if the community I have in Patreon and channel memberships and I have here on Twitch, that's the community that I have built, and I am happy that this community exists. We don't all always agree with each other either. Like you just saw it in the chat. We don't all always agree, which is fine. But if you wanted to, like, you could have your digital magazine there. Like, you could have all that shit on Patreon, and you would have way more money than you would ever have doing this class. I'm telling you that right now, just like from somebody, I'm telling you, you would have far more money with Patreon and channel memberships than you would have doing this class, because the class means that somebody has to like shell out this cash, like boost, right? But Patreon would mean that you could do this in increments, and you could be the one doing the one-on-one, which means you could actually raise the price of like most people's lowest tier is like $1.99. Okay. Most people's lowest tiers. You, however, being Marlena Stell with 15 years of experience, could actually boost that up. Okay, you could have that shit and be like, okay, well, the lowest tier is gonna be like $8, and people would still pay you $8. Now you gotta like start doing some math, because like Janet was saying here, I don't think she knows how to do things without a team. Correct, because if you start doing some math, let's say that you're able to get 100 people to subscribe at the $8. Okay, that's already, I don't know the math. Like, what is that, $80? Is that 80? Is that $80 a month? Because I don't know how to math. I like multiplication with the hundreds. It should be easy, but it's not. Is it 800? listen, the point is, I know, I'm like, this is how you start the course. The point is, I don't have a calculator in front of me. Math has never been my strong suit, especially if it's not super complicated, weird math. Easy math makes my brain hurt. We're not going to talk about it. I have a complicated autistic brain. It likes complicated puzzles, but anything simple, I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. So $800. All right. So that's just one tier for the month. All right. Now, if you put $5 more on the next tier, people are going to pay for that monthly because people can afford these tiers. They can afford a monthly amount. What is 8 plus 5? 13. Why do I know that? 13 is my favorite number. That's why I know that. But $13 would be your next tier. Another 100 people there. $1,300 a month. What is 1,300 plus 800? 2,100. That's $2,100 a month. And that's just 2 tiers, girly. I just helped you. That's 2 tiers. Like, and you could do all this shit there. And people would pay. Hell, I would go. Fuck it. I would just to be like, what's happening? Because I am a nosy bitch. I wouldn't go in and like be a dick and like fuck things up for other people because that's not who I am, because I hate people who do that. I just go in and be curious, like, what kind of shit am I learning? Is it worth my time and energy? So many people would subscribe to that. Like, it's a monthly, like and these are low monthly fees that you're not really thinking about. These are the same people. We have streaming services. We forget how many different streaming services we got. Like, we completely fucking forget that shit. Like, all of us do. Like, most people forget, like, do you know how many people have like streaming services they don't even know that they have until one day they click over to? They're like, oh shit, I didn't know I had this. And now you got it. Like, we're just paying this money. But Patreon is going to take anywhere from 25% or more of that. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Like, if they take 25% of your $2,100, like, you're going to have multiple tiers though. Multiple tiers. And if you're just basically making Patreon, that's another way you could have made money. Like, instead of doing this, offering a site like Patreon that would take less than the 25% cut that they take. Like, I don't own a successful business because I don't have time to grow a business. And I'm already telling you, like, you could have, thank you. She could have boss babe that shit and gone. Oh, so here's the thing. We're going to get into the more or less of the teaching that she's done. We're going to like watch another 5 minutes of this. Then I'm going to take me a little breaky break because I got a TT and I got to sneeze.
Things on the back end that could support the type of growth that I wanted to see with that. So that is why the people that I'm working with currently are genuinely good people. I would not work with them if I felt they were shady at all. We actually bonded together of working together because they knew my ultimate mission moving forward was to support some organizations specifically around domestic abuse and all of that. That's coming in the near future. I don't want to talk about it here because I don't want it to feel like I'm using that as bait of, hey guys, I'm doing this charitable work. No, there is a lot more coming in the very, very near future around that. But when they heard what my overall vision was of having business moving forward and having multiple facets of that, supporting something that is very personal to me and I'm passionate about, it's my mission, they were excited about that piece. And so that's why they chose to work with me.
I think that it's weird that people are kind of coming after the team that she works with. Because let's be very, very real. Like, there are people who have worked with some nasty people, but a job is a job. We live in capitalism. It is what it is. I think that is weird. Like, people being like, well, those people worked with Tony. Like, okay, well, like, there's a lot of people who have worked with a lot of shady motherfuckers, but we just don't. You know, a job is a job is a job. Capitalism is a bitch. You got to pay your bills. So I think that's weird. We will like in like 2 minutes, we're going to take a break because there's an ad break incoming in 2 minutes. So we will take the break then. Let's slide over and see how much of this we can slide through right quick. I forgot I didn't switch it. I'm a dumbass.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you for been with you for 15 years. So Caitlin has a good comment too. So
I forgot to switch it back. I'm sorry, y'all.
Stuff to show the page or the site of just the academy.
Here we go.
So ES says, I understand what happened. My husband is a web designer and inputs dummy verbiage and categories during development. I understand that completely. It should have been like Ipsum, little Latin stuff and all of that going on. I think the web developer was putting in copy from other sites. And I just found out today because everyone was asking, where did this copy come from? Because I was like, I did not write this. My team did not write this. It was copied and pasted from another site that I actually just got today a screenshot of. I was like, it's dead on to that. They copied and pasted it from a completely different site. So it was nothing that we written. So that's where it came from. Should it have been this whole Latin stuff to show the page of the site? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not even going to deny that. All I can say is I'm so sorry, you guys. That was definitely not language that I align with. And I'm so sorry that that was put out there because that's definitely not language that I wrote. But at the end of the day, it's my brand and I have to take responsibility for that and just apologize and say that is not what I wanted and that's not how I feel and that's not how I want this business to be set up.
All right, we'll be right back. I'll see you all in a second. Enjoy the music.
Thank you for been with you for 15 years. So Caitlin has a good comment too. So she says, my problem is the price. There is no way that I would pay that price. Is there something to do with the help of the cost of this program? Absolutely, you guys. So I'm actually really grateful for you guys giving me feedback, even though it is hard to hear. It's necessary because this is such a new program and it's something that's been developed from scratch. So I take what you guys give me to heart. I take your feedback and say, hey, Marlena, this is bullshit. Don't be charging me this much for this and that. Yeah. I will make sure moving forward, I'm already meeting with my team tomorrow to say, hey, we have to adjust some things. Let's make this, let's have an option that is a more affordable one. Let's get people in the community. Like what I really want to do is have a very, very small amount. Maybe it's like, $8 or $10 and people can get in the community. So at least you have access to the contest, the giveaways, the inspirational looks, the bonus content, interacting with each other and have fun with that.
Again,
so
could have been done on
Patreon. Talk about with my team, like, hey, we've got to pivot. Let's change these things, taking all the advice that you guys have given me and taking it to heart and really adjusting it to make it something that I can still present to you guys and be really proud of because and I'm not just saying this is bullshit, you guys. Like, I'm really genuinely proud of all the work that has gone to this. This has not been something slapped up. It's been a year of work, working 70 hours a week. I'm passionate about it. I love teaching so much. I have since the beginning of me being here.
All right, just a side note, when you do internet shit as a job, and I don't mean this to like be a shitty person. I'm just saying this because like as a person who does internet shit, but this isn't my job, let's not put in however many hours you put into anything. And that's like, again, that's nothing against her. That's literally everybody who does internet shit as a job. Like, don't. There's a difference between doing something that you love and being able to put hours into. Because like, I fucking love doing this shit. Like, this is so great, and I love doing it. And my 60 hours a week at my job. That's a nightmare. And I feel like it's really important. Again, this job is hard. I'm never going to say like it's not hard. And I hate that we have to have a comparison game whenever we're talking about doing online shit. Just as a side note, I hate that we have to have this like weird ass conversation where it's like, it's not rocket science, it's not brain surgery. Yeah, we know it's still hard. All jobs are difficult. But what I will say is I try not to compare or bring up if this was my main gig, I really wouldn't want to bring in the amount of hours that I put into it. The only time I bring it in now is because of the fact that it's like, well, hey, I have a full-time job, so if you want all this extra shit, like I can't do that. I don't have time. And then that's why I'm always so grateful and thankful that I do have patrons and channel members and people subscribed to my Twitch, because all of that shit is what helps me to be able to add content in a way that I couldn't add before. Like, I used to have such difficulty trying to do things. I have all these channels and all this stuff. Now that I've, added somebody, which I've got to start, being able to like lean on that a little bit more. It's made life easier. But 100% I am going to say, like, just as a side note, never put in how many, like, oh, I've been working 70 hours a week on this. Like, nobody cares. And I don't mean that against her personally. I mean that against every internet person who says like, oh, I've been working all this time. Nobody cares about how much you've been working, because like you're doing something you love, not in a rude way, but most of us are doing jobs we have to do. And so we don't care how many hours you put into it. No offense. Absolutely zero offense. But like, just, I need everybody on the internet to stop doing that. That's a note to everybody on the internet. Like, stop telling us we don't care. We don't care. We don't give a shit. All right, let's get back in. I'm ready.
YouTube. I love makeup. I love bringing the community together. So I know my intentions where they at are personally, but I know it's not coming across that way. And so that's where I have to just be open and honest with you guys and just share it. And I know not everyone's going to believe me and thinking I'm, speaking out of the side of my mouth. And I understand that for sure, because I know how this comes across. I'm not even trying to deny it. All I can do is say, I'm so sorry. That was not my intention at all. So Zara says, can you do a payment plan for
Dark
those
Angel.
Titan money? Absolutely. So we have a payment.
They have payment plans. We're going to get into that in just a second. I think that is why she is talking about it that way, to stress that this is the only thing she is doing. So everything is riding on this. Yeah. And I feel like, okay, again, I'm going to keep stressing this, not even just because I have Patreon, but because like big channels that I watch have Patreons. Like I watch Shits and Gigs. I watch the Shits and Gigs podcast. I watch Just Trish. She's starting to, yes, my problematic fave, let me live. I watch Just Trish. I watch the Basement Yard. Like, and these guys have like huge Patreons. They're making a fuck ton of money on that. I think one of them, I feel very confident that the Basement Yard is almost, if they haven't already, gotten to like 13,000 patrons. Like, and this is why I said, like, even with Patreon taking 25%, I listen, I don't know if this is true or not. This is just my conjecture. I do feel like Patreon probably negotiates with larger people. Like, I feel like they do. I feel like they end up negotiating that amount at some point, because you can't, like, somebody with that kind of following could very easily just like have a team set up their own website and their own like access and do all this stuff and like basically mock what Patreon does. And be able to, like, just like Marlena's done here, right? In a sort, and be able to do the same tiers and all that stuff. We don't, because it's easier to just do it through their site. So not your Wi-Fi dying, but it's easier to do it through the site and like have them already have all the shit prepared for you. But I think there's a reason that people use that, because one, it's easier and it's very clear what's happening most of the time. But the thing is, even with them taking a percentage, you're still making a fuck ton of money. Like if I had 13,000 patrons, baby, I would never go back to the post office. I would never go back to the post office. I would tell the post office to kick rocks. I wouldn't even tell them that, because I wouldn't even have enough respect for it. I just be like, fuck off. So
in place for the program. So I will make sure that across the board that we have varying payment plans that are definitely at a smaller chunk, that are more affordable. So I will address that as well. So Chelsea says, can the certification lead to licensing in cosmetology? No, it cannot. So licensing in makeup artistry is where this gets really tricky, because there is no actual makeup license. This was actually something before I started Makeup Geek as a brand that I was going to start with. I haven't told you guys this before. When I started Makeup Geek back in 2010, actually, before that, I started doing research. My original plan was not actually to start a cosmetic line. I was originally going to open a makeup school. That was my dream. And I spent a couple years really researching it and trying to find how to have a legitimate, hands-on accredited school. And there was no way to get accredited. It became this huge thing that was beyond anything I thought that I could achieve. So
just a side note, can we have somebody drop the party sound effect? Because like, I think I might be able to do that. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can, because I have infinity sounds. And we gotta respect the honesty in this. Like, she's like, no, it literally cannot do that. Girl, what? You're gonna be honest? 100? Okay, there it is. We gotta put on the dance party, because like, she's being an honest ass bitch. Oh no, somebody already did it. Dance party for honesty. Dance party. Everybody get your thing on. Yeah. Be honest all the time, 'cause it's good for your soul. Ooh, yeah. I dig it. Because like, that's the thing, is makeup certification. That's why I was always very specific when I talked about whether or not I was licensed or certified. I would say I'm a certified makeup artist, which is not the same thing as a license, because like, you can go to cosmetology school and you can be a licensed cosmetologist. Fun fact though, it doesn't even work state to state sometimes because each state may have different rules. So if I had the money, I would open a toy store. Hell yeah. Yeah, it doesn't translate everywhere. It's the same, like law school is the same way. You don't just like, you can't just realty, all that. You can't just leave Texas and go be a lawyer in Georgia. Like you would have to make sure that you pass all of their shit. And all, like you can't like, because every state has different rules and laws. Because the United States is not actually united. It's just a bunch of different little colonies. But I'm like, but I do appreciate that she was fully honest about that, because a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are like, oh, you can, and the thing is, just a side note, don't get discouraged. Just because you're a certified makeup artist doesn't mean you can't do makeup. You actually can in a lot of places, not everywhere. Again, different laws, different states. You can have a business doing makeup artistry as a certified makeup artist. Now, I think the thing is in Texas is, if you are working inside of like a business, like a standing business, I do think that you have to have a cosmetology license, but otherwise you don't have to have one. Like if you're just advertising yourself as a certified makeup artist and you're able to like show people your work and they're like, hell yeah, you can do that. But like you can't open a business and be like, we do makeup artistry here, which is fine because a lot of people want mobile business anyway. Let's get back into it. I'm sorry. Listen, I have so many interruptions. I'm a dick. Moving on.
I ended up just focusing on teaching on YouTube for free, offering classes and starting there. But my passion and goal has always been to have an academy at some point. Do I want this academy to become accredited? Absolutely yes. I'm already looking into what it needs to take on my end to make that happen. So at some point, am I hoping this is an accredited program? Yes. However, licensed, the only way to become a licensed makeup artist is to go to cosmetology school. Most states, if they're going to have you do makeup in a public setting, they want you to have a license, and that's cosmetology, which, as you guys know, that focuses all on hair. I looked into this. I almost went to cosmetology school myself.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
And literally had signed up for a course years ago before I started Makeup Geek, and then I got into it, and I was like, this is all hair. It covers 2 days. 2 days of makeup.
Oh no, y'all. Okay, a little bit of my haterade just like got taken off, because that's exactly why I didn't go to cosmetology school, because it was almost all focused on hair, and I was like, well, I just want to do makeup. Like, I don't give a fuck about your hair. I don't, like, first of all, I don't want to touch your hair. It grosses me the fuck out. Like, touching other people's hair grosses me out. I can't even, no. And I know you're like, how am I going to listen to somebody whose braids are growing out? First of all, I'm getting them redone. Second of all, none of your business. Third of all, again, keep minding your business. The point is, I knew that cosmetology school, like, I went, I visited, I looked at everything. It's not, like, makeup wasn't, and still isn't, the main driving force of cosmetology school. It's almost all hair. And then that is why a lot of people will get a cosmetology license and then still end up getting certified in makeup, because like the makeup certification course, I'm going to tell you from what I've taken, gave me so much more information, like where you put bronzer, like the placement basically. Placement on other people, which is something that you don't really think about. Like the way that I had to learn, just like how, like even this highlight, like placing it, like fun fact, it is not actually all as far up as it seems that it is. That is a trick of light because I put it like right here and then I just blended it down out, and then it's giving like it's all the way up here. It's not, it's a light trick. My nose is so cute though. Moving on. Let's find out more information. We're 24 minutes in and I'm wasting time because I'm an asshole.
So why am I taking this if my focus is in makeup? So it is kind of a complicated topic, but do I want this to be accredited as soon as I can make that happen? Absolutely. Is it now? No, it is not.
That actually makes
The
sense.
certification that I give you guys is a certification of completion, and we do not give that to anyone unless it's shown that they've actually gone through the program and have watched all of the content. They've had the one-on-one session with me. They've had their 75-minute small group session. They've gone through all of this stuff, all of the training, all of the one-on-ones. We've really gotten a grasp of all of the knowledge that I'm trying to teach, and then you get a certificate of completion.
Yeah.
So I
And
hope
that
that makes
certificate, if she does it
sense
right,
as well.
will allow you to buy makeup
Will
at
you
cost.
have a different program for international customers? Moto's asking that. Not at this time. The program is available to everyone internationally or in the US. So, yes. So Ciara is saying a cosmetology or esthetician's program would be substantially more expensive too. I took out loans $20,000 for cosmetology school. Yes. Most of the cosmetology schools I've looked at have been between $15,000 to $20,000.
Yes. But keep in mind that she also threw in like esthetician. And this is a really important thing. When we're talking about your skin and like skincare and being able to provide paid advice for skincare. This is a really important thing that I just kind of wanted to get in on right quick. Like when people are asking you and needing help for like skin anomalies, I'm gonna say. I don't like to call them like bad skin because nobody's skin is bad. You just have anomalies and issues that you're having to work through. Like acne isn't like bad skin. It's just something you have to work through because skin is weird. Skin is weird. Skin does all kinds of strange things. You know what I mean? You just be minding your business and one day you got a freckle. And you know, of course you're going to panic because WebMD is going to be like, girl, you got cancer. And then you go and you do all these tests. You don't have cancer. It's just a fucking freckle. Like skin's weird. It just does shit. Like sometimes some of the freckles that you have on your body are like old scars that finally that's the last layer of skin. It's a wild time. But the thing is, the reason that like nothing should cost that much money, honestly. I just feel like just generally like a lot of college should just be, $1,500 and then you do that. Obviously you're speaking to somebody who has ADHD and I get a special interest and I want to do this thing and then I don't want to do it anymore and I want to move on to something else. And I feel like if it wasn't super expensive and the barrier to entry didn't fucking suck and the time that it took me to learn this thing wasn't going to be so long, I would just be able to do so many things, but they won't let you do that. But because they are teaching you in like being an esthetician, there's a lot of information. Like there's things there that you need to understand about skin that there's not a certification program wouldn't get you through. And I don't mean that again to be shitty. It's just like you're going to be like, as an esthetician, you would often be working in, dermatology and a lot of these you would need a license for that because you're going to be recommending a skin regimen to someone who needs help with whatever's going on with their skin. And you can't just be like, oh, just try this thing to see if it works. You have to actually have an intimate knowledge of skin, how skin works, skin issues, what causes these issues, allergic reactions, etc., etc., etc. So like that's completely different. And that's why, it's going to be more, I think that the comparison between the things is a little, because it's a strange thing to do. Let's not compare like, oh, well, it's more expensive to do this. Like, yes, because you're doing different things. That's why it costs more money. Like that's apples and oranges. You're doing two different things. Like, come on now.
Rightfully so, it covers hair, but if you're focusing on just makeup, in my opinion, it's not worth it because if you want to become a makeup artist.
Yes, Dark Angel has it right there.
$20,000.
Hold on one second. My sister did Cosmo School. It was close to 10 grand. That was years ago. That's approximately how much I was going to pay. And I feel like, what year was it? I feel like 2016, 2017. I do believe, because 2016, I feel like was the year that we separated and decided to get divorced. And at the end of that year, I took my certification course paid for by a guy I dated when I didn't tell him. Just by the way, I didn't ask him. To this day, I didn't ask you to pay for that fucking course. I wanted to go and I couldn't go. And I was like, that's fine. And you were like, no. And you made it happen. And then when we broke up, you became an asshole. Listen, I'm having a moment. And you're like, you got to pay it back. And I was like, you fucking asshole. I hope you burn in hell. To this day, hope you burn in hell. So anyways, mostly it was the tools she needed to buy to be able to take the class. And that's the thing. A lot of it is like all of the stuff that you have to have. they're like, because they're like, they provide it for you, but that's what you're really paying for. You're paying for like the makeup brushes, the toolkit, the this, the this, the that, the that, the that. Like, that's really what you're paying for. They provide it. I'm putting this in quotes because it's like, it's not given, like, but they're going to give it to you. And the reason that they do is because they want to make sure everybody's working with the same shit when they're teaching. Because it doesn't make sense to have one person, you know, whose mom could pay for fucking everything and they've got like top of the line shit. Obviously some of their shit might turn around great, you know? So yeah, most of it is them being like, we're going to give you this shit. They don't give you anything. It's like you're paying for it.
Dollars for learning all hair and just a very teeny tiny portion of makeup. For me, it is not worth it if you want to become a makeup artist. Correct. Honestly, the best thing, in my opinion, is if you really want to focus on skin, maybe get your esthetician's license. You have a license of some sort, but if you really want to focus on makeup, is honestly taking various courses to learn and then having experience. Starting out on your own, freelancing, working as assistants to professional artists that have been in the industry for a long time.
I didn't want to like her because she's done things to this day, but she is correct there. It may, like, taking courses, if you want to be a makeup artist, taking various certification courses is your best bet because you're getting hands-on training and you're like a lot of it, and then you can like go do that. But cosmetology school, for most people, it's not going to help you because it's not focused on makeup. Makeup is like a very small part of it, and the rest of it really is hair. And unless you want to touch people's hair.
That was a route that I did in the past as well. I've been a freelance artist since 2002. I personally did training myself on my undergraduate program. My undergraduate's a Bachelor of Science in Education. So I do have an education degree. I went to Michigan State to work on my master's degree in education. Few classes short, I didn't finish it because that's when I started Makeup Geek. So I do have a degree in education. I did go to Paris and studied with the Makeup Forever Academy, and I did a 6-week program with them. And then in my undergraduate program, I did a 3.5-month full semester program at a college level with textbooks of stage makeup. So I took stage makeup, went to Paris, and then as me teaching, I was brought on to Cosmix Makeup School in Florida for 1 week. I taught there. And then as a freelance artist, I did bridal makeup. And then I also did makeup for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Ohio. I did some work there early on in my career before I started Makeup Geek, but after I had started my YouTube channel. Sorry, that was a lot, you guys. I just wanted to get that out there so you know.
Also, just by the way, when you're doing freelance, the number one makeup you're going to do is bridal makeup. Just side note. It's very few people are getting makeup artists for anything other than, hi, it's my wedding and I want to look like Kim Kardashian. And it's like, babe, I can't make you look like that, but okay, I can do that type of makeup. I can make you be her. So yeah, she's correct there. She's giving some mad truth. You know what I mean? She's really like hitting points. Okay, all right, let's go.
You know, like, what is this girl bringing to the table? I'm like, I have been a freelance artist for a really long time, but my focus has been on owning a brand. I pivoted in 2010 when I started Makeup Geek as a cosmetic line, but still did freelancing even throughout on the side. So Ebony says, besides self-taught, who other artists inspire you? I love Pat McGrath as an artist. She inspires me so much because she's so creative with her looks. I love Patrick Ta. I think he's amazing. There's so many artists that I follow online. Even Ali on Instagram. I've met her years ago in Paris. She's incredible. She's a gracious, kind person. Lisa Eldridge. There's so many professional artists that I love to follow. I'm always trying to soak in education from every outlet that I possibly can, for me personally, to keep improving and learning different things from different people. So I'm always about learning more. I will never stop learning. Video for Bosses. Marlena's provide a whole YouTube channel and other social media platforms that teach for free. And I will continue to do that, you guys. I don't want anyone to think I'm just trying to charge people and I'm going to stop YouTube. I'm still doing YouTube, you guys. I'm not going anywhere. I've been here 15 years. My butt is staying put. We will continue to do that. I will continue to do free education on YouTube, but I'm also on top of that going to be in the Makeup Geek Academy community, doing bonus content and really engaging with them there. And here is another reason why, you guys, on social media, you guys know the algorithm is going to focus on which videos are going to get the highest clicks, the most engagement.
Yep.
It's all about entertainment on YouTube. And it's shifted over the years from when I started, and now, I mean, right, so these social platforms want to see who's the most entertaining, who's, you know, dancing on here and, you know, doing crazy stuff, and that's what's going to get the most views. So I want a very tight-knit community place where I can really just focus on.
I will pause on that. So here's the thing. The reason so from what I've been paying attention to, because y'all know I've done commentary, I've done beauty. The thing is about beauty content, which I have said multiple times, is it doesn't pay out the residuals as well. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm saying it doesn't pay out as well. I did a video, I feel like 3 years ago now, saying maybe 4, saying, and it's I don't want to get married ever. That video still pays me every single month. None of my videos pay, none of my beauty videos do that. Not a one. YouTube's algorithm has, like, the biggest reason it shifted away from beauty in general wasn't just the drama. I think people like to say like, oh, it's the drama, it was the drama. I don't think it was just the drama. When you look at it hand in hand, what they realized is they wanted stuff that not only like people enjoyed watching now, but would enjoy watching later. So the shift away from beauty content as being like their kind of number one that they kept pushing a lot, was realizing that like there's a very small niche of people who are going to be trying to look at the like reviews for the ABH subculture palette. There's going to be a very small niche of people who are going to be looking for reviews of, and palettes just get discontinued. Like if you're into indie makeup or indie anything, like that shit, oh, I'm sorry, I keep burping. That shit just gets discontinued. It disappears. It's gone forever. Like there's no point. Like there's brands that no longer exist that I made videos on, right? So like, does it fucking, like, who's looking for that? Who's looking for a brand of like a palette from a brand that no longer exists? It's a very niche kind of, so I would be lucky to get like half a cent from somebody looking for that palette because like somehow they got their hands on it or whatever. So that would be like a wild situation, right? And that is one of the reasons why I do enjoy Patreon and all of that, is because that leaves you like this space with people who want to chill. Like they're not interested in all this, and you do not have to welcome back for everybody on the ads, but you do not have to be stuck in this cycle of constantly trying to create that thing that people really enjoyed. Like if I really wanted my channel to just like keep growing and expanding, I would keep like doing a lot of my react content. I would react consistently to Peter Mon's opinions and etc., because those videos do really well for me. But there's a couple reasons why I don't. One, I don't really feel comfortable like doing that to somebody. Like Peter Mon made his content. It's weird as shit that, for me, this is my opinion, it would be weird for me to like very consistently be reacting to like every fucking thing he put out, because then I'd just be like a Peter Mon stan channel, like, right? So that's weird. The other thing too is that if I go in that vein, then everyone just very consistently expects that, and I don't want to do that. Like I just don't have the time for that kind of content all the time. But two, I don't want to. And I think that a lot of people realize that, like, yes, you could get big, you could keep growing if you do this thing, but I don't want to. And so like, I'm not YouTube's darling, you know, I will never be, because I cannot just keep jumping on the thing that may be popular or whatever, because like I think for me it gets very weird and desperate. It's not the same as it once was. The content it gets very much me trying to like jump on this thing instead of me like trying to think about it thoughtfully. Like this I'm able to do because I'm able to sit and think about it thoughtfully, right? And that's why I like to do the live streams on Twitch, because I can like go through and see this thoughtfully, walk through what Marlena is saying and be like, yeah, actually that does make sense. I appreciate you talking about that.
education, inspiration, having fun content that is really centered around makeup tips and tricks that aren't having to worry about, is this going to get clicked and viewed? Is this going to meet the algorithm? Is it anyone going to see it? Is YouTube going to, punish me and not let people see my stuff? It's just, I want a safe space that is really just a tight-knit community all around makeup, having fun, inspiration.
It's called Patreon. Do that. And it doesn't, you don't have to have it cost $36.
Someone asked, can you shift it to a membership model and be a part of the community? Absolutely, yes. That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm saying. If you guys can give me a couple weeks time to regroup with my team,
just put all that shit on Patreon?
I really do want to make some adjustments to make you all happy. At the end of the day, I really want you guys to be excited about this. I want you to be a part. Like this, I'm not just trying to smoke up anyone's behind.
Yes.
I really am.
If you do something you don't care, about only for clout, people notice. Yes. That's why people are like, oh, you need to look at Joey Graceffa. I'm like, I have no fucking idea who that is, and I have zero interest in finding out. Like that's the thing. My commentary is very much on things that I find interesting. Like I find this whole situation with Marlena Stell interesting. I found the situation going on with oh my God, y'all. Depending on when I get off work, I just realized, hold on, baby. But there are people where I'm like, I don't give a fuck about them. And I think that when you're doing commentary, and this is something Peter has said, where people have asked about it, and he's like, no, because I think he stepped out talking about that girl from Mr. Beast who was like, I got in third place and Mr. Beast didn't do that, and it really sucked. I don't know her name, but he talked about her. You see, that's a situation I don't particularly care about, right? Because I don't care about Mr. Beast, A. I don't care about Escape the Night or Hide and Seek or whatever the fuck that is, B. And I have no idea who that lady creator is. I don't give a fuck. The reason I cared about the Illuminati situation is because I used to follow Blair. I used to follow her channel. Way back in the day. I used to follow that shit. I used to listen to, it was a regular occurrence. I was subscribed to her shit. The reason I talked about RBK is because I used to follow her and I was subscribed to her shit. I only really care about people that I care about. The end. You can't force me to give a fuck about creators I've never heard of. I do not care about them. I don't want to do that much research on people I just don't give a shit about. The Nick is Not Green situation I found very interesting because I had just started getting into his content. I was like, oh, he's just like everybody else. That's how it is for me, I don't know what happened to Noah Samson in my feed, but he disappeared. So there are people that I talk about because I'm interested. I talk about and follow Marlena Stell, not follow, but following this situation because I felt like she had this opportunity to be a great presence in this community. And I feel like she squandered it because she got butthurt over the fact that her friends wouldn't do free work. Now, if she wants to get on here and chat with me face to face, that's fine. I'll talk to her. I don't give a shit. But that's what I feel like happened. I feel like her mic drop moment, that video that she put out was her being mad that people weren't doing free shit for her. And it's girl, you need to let that go. That's not how that works. You yourself taught these people how to get what they were worth. So they should not backtrack that just because your business is failing. That was wild. Wild time. I never watched Mr. Beast. Only when there was drama did I even hear about it. Yeah, I'm not I don't like Mr. Beast. I'm good. I'm never seeing a Mr. Beast video in my entire life, ever. I could die and never see Mr. Beast. Perfect. You know what I mean? Perfect. If I even watch a video where they're talking about Mr. Beast, I'm oh, I'm gonna leave. And I turn the video off. I'm I don't give a fuck. And I just immediately go. No hate to Mr. Beast. Congratulations to you for whatever the fuck it is you do. But I have no interest in it. I'm a non-binary femme. And I don't give a fuck about whatever it is that Mr. Beast is doing. I don't want to see it because it feels very 13-year-old boy content, and I'm not that, so I'm fine with that. I'm okay.
I'm excited about this. It makes my soul happy, and I know if you guys were in that community, I really want it to be fun. I want you guys to connect with each other. Oh, and the other cool part that I wanted to show you guys, let me do a screen share real quick. I apologize if I'm all over the place, you guys, but I want to show you
Let's see if she can see.
On
I can't remember
the
if she can
Academy.
screen share this. We'll find out.
So profile. So let me
No,
show
she
you
can't.
guys. So if you click on anyone's name, so anyone who's in the community, if you guys all have platforms of your own, this would be a great way to network as well. This is a key piece I wanted built out from the team in the community as well.
There's nothing wrong with my
You guys
computer.
can create your own
This
custom
is what she
banner up
screen
here.
shared.
You have your own picture, your custom banner. You can write
It's
a
not me.
bio about yourself. You can put your location, and then you can link to all of your social media platforms in here. So if someone were to click on it, it would take them to your YouTube, your Instagram. So I think it's a great way if you want to promote yourself and get other people to connect and see you posting in here and be like, oh, I haven't seen this person. What's their YouTube channel? Check it out.
It's
They
a follow for
subscribe.
follow train.
So that was a
Just
really
kidding.
big part of us building out this community as well, is having it be a network.
Oh, there we
guys
go. Oh.
Can, you know,
We just
get
saw it for a
yourself
second.
out there and be seen by other people as well. So, oh, you guys
Again,
couldn't
that
see
wasn't
the
me.
second time?
That's her.
Shit. Oh, sorry, can't say that on camera. I'm not allowed to see bad words.
Marlena.
Can you guys see this one this time? Can you guys see it? Here, so up at the top.
I
so
like
you
it
click
too.
on, say my name right here.
I'm like, Marlena.
Can you guys see the banner up top, the image?
No, we see
the
nothing.
bio.
All we see is a black
Location,
screen.
here's all the
Also,
personal links. You can click
girlfriend
to all that
side
there.
note,
So let me know if
you
guys
can curse after
see
the
that
first 2
now.
minutes. Don't say fuck until
There
after
you
the
go.
first
Can you guys
5.
see it?
This is, I feel like, where I
here's
came in
all
somewhere.
the YouTube links, Instagram, all that. You can have your custom bio, all of that there at the top.
I feel like this
So,
is when I realized she
there's
was
that.
live, and I popped in.
So,
It's like, oh no, you can
guys
say
still
shit,
couldn't
Marlena.
see
By the
it?
way, you just gotta pass your first 2 minutes of
okay.
live.
When you get in the community, you create a profile. You have a custom banner. You can put whatever banner you want. It's like a social media platform. It's almost like a mix between Facebook and
Which is hell.
Instagram. You have your profile, you have your links, but or maybe it's like LinkedIn. It's like LinkedIn meets Facebook. That's what this community is. You
I still
can
hate
promote
Facebook.
yourself, have your bio, you can create your own custom banner, you can link to all your stuff. It's like LinkedIn meets Facebook and a forum.
So that's actually kind of cool if it wasn't so
okay,
expensive. But here's the thing, I do worry that it would very much become one of those situations where, like, okay, I'm not tooting my own horn here, but what I'm gonna say is, let's say I join this thing. I have 11.4K subscribers, and let's say like other people who have like 3,000, less than my subscriber count, right? Also join. I feel like it would get weird with like strange ass kissing. That's just me, because I've seen it happen. Like when I was in other communities in YouTube. I'm so sorry. I didn't even have time to hit the button. I didn't know that was actually going to like come out of my mouth. I thought it was just going to stay in the throat. So I apologize. That's what she said. No, she didn't. She spit it out. Anyways, when I was in other communities, like they were larger than me. Nobody gave a fuck about me. But then I surpassed them in subscriber count. Not all, but some of them. And then suddenly those same people were wandering up and being like, oh, hey, maybe we should do a collab. I'm like, girl, no. Remember when you like left me in the dust and acted like I did not exist? That. I'm going to treat you like you treated me. Exactly the same. So I do kind of worry that it will become like that kind of situation where people will be paying attention, like they'll go, and I feel like it could also create like a lot of grossness, because like content creators, especially in the makeup community, like I don't mean this to be shitty, but a lot of them are fucking fucked up ass people. Like a lot of them are fucked up people. Like I said, I've said this before, the circle of friends I keep is small and it's very specific, and it's because the people that I know, they are the same on and off camera. I'm not dealing with a different person, from James to Robert to Emily to Teresa to Tina to T, Kelsey, Brianna, like all of those people, they're the same person. I'm not dealing with a completely different person off camera. I like that. That's another reason I was like, I don't want to go on those fucking trips, because I already know most of y'all aren't like that. And I can't deal with that. I can't deal with the weirdness and how strange y'all are and being two people. Let's go. 20 minutes. We can do it.
Ask some more questions, you guys. Give me some hard ones. I want to make sure that I answer all of the important questions that are on your guys' mind. Oh, really quick too. Sorry. Okay, so the certification program. Okay, so I want to address that too. The The certification program goes over makeup, but also business. So in that specific program, that is designed for anyone who wants to start a business for themselves of any type. And that is not, I think this is where some issues came up, you guys, is that people saw me teaching business courses and then they saw all the MLM bullshit that was happening and they were connecting the two, thinking that I was trying to teach business classes to like pimp out the academy. That was not it at all. That separate program, the certification program, you get the certificate of completion going through all of the, all of the multi-layers of all of this makeup content. But in that specific model is business. So I'm teaching you guys how to grow a social media following. And I have brought in experts in I have someone that's a friend that used to work high up at Facebook and has lots of tips on things to do to get seen on Facebook. She actually owns a company now of how to be seen and basically go viral on short form content such as TikTok. So I'm hoping to bring her on to do some webinars and things like that.
Mimi, question 1, why does it cost so much? Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say at this point, I will say she has done a very good job of alleviating the MLM allegations. At this point, it does seem like it's just another set of courses. She's trying to build like a community. I still think that she should just create a Patreon because then that would be affordable to bunches of people. And like the higher up you go, the more that you can go. And listen, if you want to start doing that shit, you start making like your $150 a month, $100 a month. That's where you do your one-on-ones. Like, don't do it with everybody. You just do it $100 a month. You get like twice a month, a one-on-one with Marlena Stell. Listen, and if it gets too high, like if you get too many people in that $100 tier, girl, you just like move that. Or you can change the amount of one-on-ones. Be like, there's so many of you now, like da-da-da-da. Because I promise you, the people that would be willing to pay $100 a month to have a one-on-one with you is higher than even I think that it is. It's higher than I want it to be because I am broke. You know what I mean? But it's fine. The point is, I'm not broke. I'm not still rich. So I do think that she, at this point, has done a very good job. I will say that. She has done a very good job of alleviating the fact that this is not an MLM. It's not. Was there a lot of poor decisions that got this information out there that made it look like it was an MLM? Hell yes. Should she have done a better job of reviewing everything before everything went live? Yeah. You would not be in this mess. But also, sometimes I'm not surprised that they do this shit because I feel like it gets people talking about their shit. And like, look at, here I am talking about it. So was it purposeful? You tell me. You tell me.
That. But the business classes, I'm focusing on social media across every platform, key tips of how to grow your following there. I teach business tips on how to get started as an entrepreneur, how to get set up with a business license, how to set up a business plan, what needs to be on that business plan, what is the brand guide, your style guide, your fonts, your colors, your mission statement, your purpose. It's a whole kit of a brand style guide that every brand is supposed to have. So everything that you're doing centers around a plan for your business. I'm showing you marketing techniques. We're talking about how to promote your business.
So mission statement. Can my mission statement be harm none, but completely fucking destroy everyone who harms you? The Audra Reigns project. Welcome to the Audra Reigns project, where our mission statement is harm none, but completely fucking destroy anyone who harms you. In today's course, I will be teaching you about long-term revenge. Now, this kind of revenge is a little tough because you have to wait for it. But when all the cookies come crumbling down, you will be able to be there on the sidelines. Golf clapping. Sign up. I feel like she wants the school aspect, like you were taking a course. And the thing is, you can do that. You could. I keep saying this about Patreon. Like, I swear to God, I do not get any money from Patreon because, baby, if I was affiliated with them, again, I would probably be making enough money to be able to, like, I would start getting closer to be able to stop like fucking up my back, my knees, and my ankles working at the post office. But I feel like she should just do I graduated with honors on that one. Listen, I will also teach you how to be immediately satisfied with vengeance. Okay. Now this one does come with some risk, but it's worth it in the end. I love how you're like, the long game is my specialty.
Business, everything that is business related, and also social media, growing your social media following is in that program. So that I want to focus on business from all of the things that I've learned in the last several years. Now, I know the question has come up. I want to address this head on, even though it is a bit humbling for me. I know people are thinking, well, Marlena, why should I listen to you because you had to close down your business last year? I totally understand. That's a valid concern. My business, even though I had to close it after the effects of COVID and many things, I still, and I don't want this to come across cocky to you guys at all. So it's kind of, it's hard for me to talk about because I don't want to come across cocky at all. So I don't talk about this a lot, but I realistically, from the ground up, built a multi-million-dollar company on my own. I did not have investors. I did not have partners. I didn't have mentors. I had nothing, you guys. And this was before anyone else in the content creation space had built makeup companies.
No, we saw that.
I was literally scrapping around trying to learn this stuff on my own. There was no one there to teach me that. So I had to go through a lot of trial and error of, does this work? Does that work? Now, have I done everything perfectly with the company? Absolutely not. But in my opinion, you guys, I have learned so much more from the struggles I've had from just the smooth sailing times, like the peaks and the lows. I've learned so much knowledge, you guys, in running through that in the 15 years that I've had it, that I really believe that I can help some other people start their own business because I've learned the really hard way, the pitfalls, what to avoid, things that I've had to learn on my own that no one else taught me. So can you learn some business?
What I want you to, here's the thing. I don't want to just start a business, Marlena. I want to maintain and keep it. No, again, no hate. No hate to you. I want to maintain and keep it. And so far, you don't know how to do that. That is the wrench I will throw. Like, so far, you don't know how to do that. You don't know how to run and maintain a business. Like, you built one, which, hell yeah, do you, boo-boo, amazing. All, like, like actual applause. But you didn't maintain it. And again, love, please don't use COVID. I hate it when people, it's because of COVID. Like, no, it was before that. You know what I mean? That's why you had a whole video. Remember? Because your shit was falling the fuck apart. You had a whole video like, fuck these hoes. Mic drop, I'm leaving YouTube. Just kidding, I'm back again. Just like, you know what I mean? You came back with a rap career. We were confused. I'm just saying. I'm going to say that.
Stuff at a school, absolutely you can, but I'm coming from it from a very nitty-gritty point of, I've actually done this myself. It was hard as hell. I learned a lot of things, and I really think I can take that knowledge and help some of you out there to build businesses of your own, not connected to the academy. Like, you want to start a candle line, you want to start a jewelry line, you want to start a dog shelter, whatever. There's certain business things in place that everyone should know when they start a business. There's certain pitfalls that I would like to share with you guys what to avoid. I really do want to help, especially other women, of how to start a business from the ground up from things that I've learned. So I hope that explains that certification program. It's not just makeup artistry. It is actual business skills of things I've learned and things that I'm bringing other people in that are experts in multiple spaces to give advice as well on what they'd recommend. So let's see.
It's gonna take her a second, but she's about to get to me.
Okay,
which is
more questions, you guys. More questions. Marlena, if you've never come across as bragging, it's like big sister advice. I appreciate it. I really do. Can you start off with a smaller package and upgrade to the next level once complete without having to repay for the prior level? Yes. If you start with the beginner level, the touch-up program, if any point throughout there you want to upgrade, you can. You don't have to repay for it over. It's just the difference of that. So you would just upgrade. You don't have to double pay or anything like that. So
Okay, and
everyone
credits
who
to
wants
me.
to start and grow a successful business needs a strategy. Video for Bosses is saying that absolutely you need a strategy. You need
Yeah, she's not
key
being
things
cocky.
in
She should be
place.
proud
You
of that.
can't just go out there and just slap things out there. There are really some solid things that you guys need to have before you start launching a business, and I really do want to teach that.
I don't ever want to launch a business. I just
More questions, you
there's
guys.
literally a bug on my face. I don't know where it went.
Okay, so the Audra Rains, this is a good question as well. How is this different than all of the free videos on the subject of growing your social media? In my opinion, the content I'm bringing is more detailed. I know there's a lot of people that can say, do this, do that. It's going through every single platform. So one module is, here's key tips just for Pinterest. Here's key tips for just Instagram. Here's key tips for YouTube. What I've learned in my personal space is that strategies that work for one platform do not translate to the other. So I want to be very specific and aim it for each platform, that there's key things in place that address each platform's needs. And even myself, through trial and error, I've tweaked and adjusted over the years. And again, I don't mean this from a cocky place, you guys, but me being on here 15 years and being considered irrelevant and who, whatever, I have been growing this year consistently between 5 to 10,000 subscribers per month on YouTube, just by making some of the changes that I have adjusted and learned myself. So I want to share those with you guys, of all the things that I personally have worked for me. So that is how I feel that it's different.
So here's
I'm
what
really
I'm
just giving you details.
I both like and dislike this answer. It's twofold. I like that she was like, I'm going to go through each and every platform. However, there are actually already videos on YouTube that teach you about each platform. I'm going to say that does exist. That it does exist on YouTube currently. Like everything that a lot of people know about Twitch, how to do Twitch, how to set up their OBS, like a lot of that came from YouTube. Like YouTube is the self-help platform. This is where you go when you need to learn how to do shit. So I like that she explained that. But it still didn't, like, for me, make me be like, oh, then I should spend money on it. I was more like, I was looking more for like she's like, well, I go detailed, and I'm like, there's literally 7-minute videos that get into detail about, like, if you want to go viral on TikTok, this is what you need to do. You can be scrolling on TikTok, they're going to tell you what to do. One of the number one things that, like, literally all of these sites have started doing that none of us can control is they've started a paywall situation. And this is, again, why so many creators have started moving their content to Patreon, to channel memberships, to Twitch, because the paywall situations that are happening, like YouTube has it right now, where I can start an ad program right now. Like, I don't have the money for it, but I can start an ad program to try to get like a boost in a video. And this sucks because for creators, what this now means, and it's been happening on TikTok, it's happening on Instagram, but what this means for a lot of creators is that essentially virality is limited. It's hard. It's actually far more difficult than anybody. Like, some shit goes viral completely by accident, right? Like, nobody thought that shit would go viral. They literally just did like a little thing and then it went well. Like Rubik's Cube guy on TikTok, okay? I guarantee you I think he knew that the video was gonna be a hit. Don't get me wrong. I think he knew it was gonna be a hit. But I don't think he knew that he was going to blow TikTok the fuck boy up and the fuck boy up. That was a weird Freudian slip. And I don't think he knew he was going to be the face of White Boy Winter. You know what I mean? Like, Rubik's Cube guy is the 22-year-old face of White Boy Winter. Like, we don't even care about Jack Harlow. Like, does he make the song? Sure. We don't give a shit. What we care about is Mr. Finger Nimbles being like ba-da-da-da-da-ba-da, solving a Rubik's Cube, throwing it. We like the attitude. We like the swag. That kind of shit happens because, one, it gets shared. And the majority of viral content that I have seen, with the exception of Jamie French, who's always desperately trying to go viral, that's a whole other conversation. I used to like her, but like, there's something about her saying like, I'm trying to go viral, that just, like, I don't know, made my stomach feel weird. But the majority of that shit was like, it was accidental, and now they're trying to force you to pay for it, right? They're trying to force everybody to pay for their content to be sponsored. And it's not sponsored content. right? Like it's not sponsored in the way that a brand is sponsoring it and paying for you. It's that you're paying a certain amount of money to like circulate this. And it sucks because like this is where we're headed, and this is why so many people are like sliding behind paywalls, because the reality that if you're gonna have to pay to play, and we're already doing this for free. And yeah, it is also from her point of view, her experience, something that some people didn't know, which I understand that. I still just don't feel like that is not enough to necessitate me paying that kind of money to be a part of a community. Like I would pay between $5 and $12, $13 a month for that, right? But like all this stuff is just and I don't mean that to be shitty to her. I mean that just generally. I'm not willing to put my money into something that, one, isn't necessarily going to parlay. Jamie French does try too hard. She does try too hard. And I feel like when you're deliberately trying to be funny, it's a weird place. But yeah, I did all of that just so we could get to my question. I like that she answered it. But I just feel like there's so much free information out there right now telling you how to do this. And I do get that it's like from a personal perspective. Because I do just, I think I need to get some food in my belly. I'm probably going to run here in a second. But I will say, well, let me just take a little breaky break because there's an ad break on right now anyway. So let me just take a little breaky break.
Detailed on very specific platforms because each one's different. Let's see.
Oh, also, I did want to add one other thing.
So Christy is asking, why is your program over others out there? The top 3 reasons. I think.
Before she goes into her top 3 reasons, I also wanted to say that your personal information on why you went viral or what doesn't necessarily work for other people. TikTok has that all the time where people will be like, oh, this is how you go viral. And it's not. Like that person went viral for multiple reasons, being white is one of them. But like virality is difficult to chase. I feel like there are people who are like, no, you can do very specific things. And to a degree, yes, but to another degree, absolutely not. It just, some things just hit. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw my Instagram stories, like you may have seen this story that popped up. It's a weird thing, right? This is a weird ass thing. And I'm just gonna like show it to you. This. Now, why is that of any interest? Right? I don't know why. It is, for me, it was the perfect mix of like, the song is banging. I don't know what's going on. There is a black woman. There is an old white lady. I'm going to show you how to make a pound cake. It is this perfect mix of like, I have no clue what's happening, but I want more of it. Like there's literally no rhyme or reason to that entire situation. Right. And it's so, thank you. It's so good. Like I must have watched it before I shared it to IG. Cause I was like, I don't feel like anybody will really get this. But then I was like, you know what? The people who watch my stories, they will get it. Right. Like they're going to see that shit and they're going to be like, I'm gonna show you how to make, and that it's bizarre, Janet. It's like, it's so bizarre. But does it bring joy to your spirit? Yes, it does. I'm gonna show you how to make a pound cake. Like, I don't know why. Virality is something like that's why I actually stopped watching Jamie French, because she was so active in like, you know, saying that she is trying to go viral. And I was like, I don't like that. Like, I get what you're trying to do, but like for me, when I'm watching your shit, it feels like that. And so it doesn't feel authentic or fun or funny in any way for me. The things that I enjoy are things where I'm just like, this is funny. This is interesting. Like, again, bringing it back to Rubik's Cube guy, he's made multiple thirst traps. Like, he's 22 years old. He's made multiple thirst traps. And now he's getting like so much attention because of that song. Yeah, the best way to not go viral is to keep vocally saying you're trying to go viral. Yeah, because like my nightmare is going viral. The few times I've gone like, I would say semi-viral on TikTok, stressed me the fuck out to the point where I was like, I don't want to open the app. Like I didn't want to open the app because I was like, there's gonna be a bunch of comments and I can't deal with it. It's very stressful. So like I just kind of post and go, right? And then on YouTube, when I post on YouTube, the way that I handle comments is I quite literally, I will answer comments for like an entire day. And it doesn't mean like that whole day. Like I'll do the video, put it up, and then the next morning I get up. Like sometimes if I have time during the evening, I will like, you know, or during my work day, really, I will respond to comments. But most of the time I wake up the next morning, I go smoke my cigarette, I feed Bo, make coffee, and then like respond to all the comments that are there. And then you may have one more opportunity, which is when I get home from work. After that, if I even heart it, like I'm reading them, but if I even heart it, that's like, I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm not going to keep responding. It's not because I'm like an asshole. It's because I have shit to do. I'm making another video. I'm doing a different live stream. I'm editing a video. I'm going to my actual job. Like these are the reasons why. So I just think that like when you're trying to be like, this is what worked for me. And again, I don't mean this against her because, you know, she's kind of growing on me, not in like a, I like her, because I'm still not going to forgive you for that shit you did. Cause my bullheadedness can't let it go. Because again, the way that you threw out that 60K number and made it seem like that, because the average viewer cannot discern if we all have the same fancy ass background and et cetera, they can't discern me from the big creators in here. Like back then, before we knew he was a child predator and he's just trying to diddle boys, James Charles, you couldn't discern the difference between us because our backgrounds could be quite similar. Everybody had the fairy lights at one point. Like everybody has all this stuff. Everybody had the like cartoon intro, like all of these things that look so similar that to the average viewer, they don't know that you're not the one and you are not getting 60K for every sponsorship, for every mention. So her having done that, I you know, it's cute that you're trying to rebuild the community that you helped to destroy is what I will say.
I think the top 3 reasons is number 1 is that beyond the classes, there's all of that community. And in that community is where it's not just, hey, let's just hang out and chat. Here's looks of the week. Here's giveaways. Here's exclusive coupons that only you guys get. Here's connections with some amazing independent women-owned brands that I really would love you guys to get to know. I think that part makes me a bit different. And I think with the other programs out there, when it comes to makeup artists teaching classes, they don't, at least that I am aware of, from all the ones I've seen, they don't specifically target building a business. Because even if you want to be a makeup artist yourself as a freelance artist, everyone should know foundational business skills, even if you don't want to launch a makeup line. But you as a personal brand, you have to market and sell yourself. Those same business tips that I want to teach apply to anyone who wants to be a makeup artist or have a product business for themselves. It still works for both
That's
sides.
what I keep saying. I'm like, Marlena, just open a Patreon, girl. That's a community. And it's a closed community. Because listen.
You guys have some great feedback on here.
What she's really trying to do, and I do admire this because it's the same thing that many of us in the makeup community have done. What she's really trying to do is create a closed community without the haters and the angry people and the people who are nasty, rude, all of that. The people who would come in and tell you that your makeup looks like shit. Like that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do and still continue. Obviously, we had to wait, you know, I've had a couple weird months moving and then the holiday season came in. But that's why I like to do the makeup playtime, because I wanted it to be a space where everybody who wants to play with makeup can play with makeup. And there's not going to be one fucking person in there that's going to tell you look like shit. You know what I mean? Because that's not the goal. The goal is to play with makeup. The goal is not like, oh, I'm going to create the best look ever created. And because of that, we ended up finding like Kiara was a sleeper. We had nobody had no idea the skill level that Kiara had on creating a makeup look. Fucking fantastic and phenomenal. And that's like what I like about that I get to have this community where people can joyfully slap on makeup and have fun. That's right, girl. I'm going to talk shit about how you just like slid in and was like, oh yeah, I'm like really fucking good at makeup. Yes, thank you. And like, I wanted that. That's what I wanted, because I personally felt like YouTube, and still is, it's a very cliquey community. You see it even in like, you know, the trips that people go on, et cetera, et cetera. It's all still very much white centric. There's not enough room for anyone else. And to me, I was like, I want to create a community where people have fun. Like even on Reddit, it's like people post a look and then not everybody's nice about it. I knew that on Facebook. I would be in makeup groups on Facebook back when I had that cursed site. And, you know, some people are like, well, you might want to do this and this. And it's like, I don't want it to be a space where people are critiquing what you are and aren't doing. What I want it to be is for you to be like, oh, I kind of like this. I wish I had done this. And for you to have that space to talk about what you enjoy about doing the makeup and what you don't like. I liked being able to be like, pull out a palette you don't enjoy and see if you like it. Like I did that recently where I pulled out a palette where I was like, I was super disappointed by it. I found it. I wasn't sure I still had it, but I was super disappointed by this. But then I ended up creating like a bomb ass look out of it. Because I didn't have the YouTube pressure. And what I mean by that is like, I did not have the YouTube pressure to immediately try this thing that I bought and try to create a look and like and talk about it. When that pressure is removed and I can just play with it, I can actually tell you like, you know what? It's not like the mattes are the star of this palette. The mattes are what make this palette worth it. The shimmers are garbage. I wouldn't use these shimmers. I would, because there's also a, one of them, you know, what is it? Wet glitter. There's also that in there. I'm not a fan, just because like, you could have just made like an actual shade, but there's like, you know, I can't remember the name of it. Like, it's just like I'm losing my mind with it. But like the shimmers in here suck. The shimmers in here are fucking garbage. The mattes are really nice, and it makes a nice palette. Like you're like, oh, okay, this is cute. Pressed glitter. Thank you, Kiara. It's pressed glitter. The rest of this is nice. And Mimi, I think that too. I don't love how everything has to be business focused. And I think that that's one of the things that made me start falling out of love of with doing beauty YouTube specifically, because I felt like I have to be running a business and I'm my brand. And I think that for a lot of creators, that does suck the fun out of it, because you just want to be able to enjoy makeup. I don't like having to get a palette and immediately have to show you like if I like it or not. And I can't do that. I really can't. The more that I go back and play with some of these palettes, some of them I've been doing on my Patreon and all of that, like coming back and being like, you know, I tried this palette, like doing looks, talking about it, talking about what's worth it, what isn't, and actually being able to evaluate it without the stress of views and all of that. So it's just like, I wanted to be able to enjoy makeup without that added stress of getting the view, being first, creating the look, having the opinion. Because I think that when you're trying to force this opinion to come out immediately, you don't get an opportunity to really kind of play with it and see if you like it. That's one of the things I admire about Tina the Fancy Face so much, because she'll just be like, listen, yeah, this palette came out 3 months ago. I'm talking about it now. What you gonna do now, bitch? Nothing. That's what I thought. So like, and I don't have that because I don't have a large enough following to be able to do that. And that's what started to make beauty YouTube not fun for me, because I was like, I don't have the time to do that. I don't have the time. Like if you want me to come on here, like with dirt face, trying to like, especially when I live by myself, I'm like, I have to wash my face, you know, and then and then try to do this. I can't do it. And like, I stink, especially in the summer. Like the smell is just, it's bad. Like I'm outside in the Texas sun. So then I'm like, well, I'll just take a shower and do it. But baby, by the time I take that shower, I'm like so fucking relaxed. The last thing I want to do is film. I don't want to do it. I'm mad props to all of those who do their job and they come back and feel, but I'm outside, I do a dirty job. And once I take that shower, I'm like, oh, well, let's go to sleep. Let's just relax. So like, yeah, that's what I wanted to say right there. Okay. Sorry about that. I've been trying Audra's retirement plan. I put my pallets in timeout and rotate. Yeah, that shit is so good for me because like, I start realizing like, you know, I do like this. When I pull it back out of retirement, I'm like, wait a minute. And then there's other stuff where I'm like, I'm not sure why I bought this. And I think your style evolves and changes, right? So like there's times where you're like, and then you start realizing I don't really need all of these neutral palettes. I'm gonna pare it down to like the 2 or 3 that I really enjoy using and get rid of, however you define get rid of, the other 17 of these that I just don't want. I don't need all of them. These 3 right here have all of the things that I need from like all of them. So I'm just gonna let go of these extras, keep these 3 and be a happy person. There's nothing wrong with that. Like you don't have to keep collecting shit just because.
I really hope I can save all this feedback on here. I might try to screenshot if I'm gonna hold on you guys. I'm gonna text someone I know to see if they can screenshot for this for me.
I did try to tell her like, girl, this stuff is gonna stay up. Your live chat stays up.
I want to screenshot the comments.
She was doing that and I was like, girl,
you guys really have some good advice on here. I genuinely mean that. I see you guys are giving amazing feedback. I'm gonna go through every single comment and write down all of the feedback.
And the retirement plan is how I got rid of my colored brain.
Use that to tweak everything moving forward because this is gold right here. I thank you guys for sharing all of this.
Finally got rid of it.
So I'm gonna see if I can get someone to screenshot, or if anyone is on here, can you guys please screenshot all of these comments and send them to me somehow, please? I don't have time right now to do it. I don't want to stop talking. So let's see. It didn't show the screen for the affiliate program that you send to influencers. Can you try sharing again?
All right.
Absolutely.
So I think that she, at this point, she just really goes into a lot of detail about the affiliate program and how it works.
Make sure, are they taken care of?
And it's not a big deal. It's literally.
For you guys, does anyone have any other hard questions? Ask them now. I really want anyone, if you've had a hard question that I have not addressed, please post them now because I really want to make sure that
the rest of this is like just her kind of showing screenshots of shit, which is cool. Like, you know, just kind of going through being like, this is stuff for the academy, et cetera, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I think she did a really good job with dispelling the idea that it is an MLM. It is not, like, after watching this live stream and going through it, it is not an MLM. It is a makeup academy. It really should just be Patreon. Just my opinion. She should just do a Patreon. And if she's not going to do it as Patreon or on Patreon, she should adopt that Patreon model and have tiers where people can access different parts of the academy, right? Like at the bottom tier, you can access this in the community, right? And then at the next tier, you can access these intermediate courses. I do not trust her. I don't trust most of the white women in this community. I'm sorry. I know that's really like what it is, but it is what it is. I don't trust most of them. I think most of them are liars. It's the same way that like they'll be out, oh, I make most of my money from YouTube, not my affiliate links. Girl, what's wrong with you? You know you're lying. That's called reverse psychology. I understand how that works. Like because if you tell people that you make most of your money from people watching YouTube, it tricks them into not only watching your videos consistently because that's your main source of income, but it also tricks them into using the affiliate links and codes that you have because you don't actually make money from that. So it's not a big deal, right? That I do believe her that she did not intend for this to come out as an MLM. I just think, once again, she's not a great business person. She does not have good oversight. And so as someone who doesn't do that, she put this out and never once didn't review everything before before the site went live, which is wild to me. Again, I'm not sure how you're going to teach me about how to run a business when you're doing this. You are teaching me about how to take responsibility though. So I will give you credit there. You did take responsibility. You did say like, I should have, buck stops with me. I should have reviewed things. Yes, you should have. It's wild to me because you're sitting here talking about how you're going to teach people the business aspect of this. And a huge, very important part of the business aspect, if you're going to run your own you are your brand, whatever, you do have to have, like, if you have a team or whatever, you do have to know how to like look over every fucking thing before, like, this stream is going to be a lot, but I'm gonna have this stream cut down. I'm gonna put this video up on YouTube, hopefully like midweek or so, Thursday, Friday, we'll see. But I'm gonna have this stream cut down. I have to like talk to the person that I have hired and be like, when do you think you could get this cut up into like nice little bits and pieces so that it's pretty? But when I do that, right, I'm gonna have that put up. I'm gonna pay for that. I'm gonna like be happy that that gets done. But I'm not gonna just expect that when they've got it all cut up and like that I'm just gonna be like, yeah, post it. That's not how it's gonna work. I'm going to review it first because there's gonna be things that have to be fixed. Like, we're gonna have to go over what sound effect do I want to use over every time that I say fuck. I have been enjoying the kitten meow because that's hilarious. Because the amount of comments I get where people are like, are you using a meow? Because my cat looked at the TV weird. Are you using a meow? Because I got confused and I was at work and I thought that there was a cat. There's something about that I find absolutely hilarious. But I do think she did a very good job of explaining, like, this is not an MLM. She dispelled that rumor. For me, I find it dispelled. I'm like, okay, this is not an MLM. You just didn't have any oversight. But I do think that my personal feeling is this could just be your own personal quote unquote Patreon. You know what I mean? Where you're doing this and you're building your tiers. In fact, the business aspect of it, again, free advice here. I should get paid for it, but we're gonna do what we're gonna do. And no, she did not need a gray hoodie. That's also nice. She did do this a lot, which I was like, yep, play with the hair, girl. But that would be a good business opportunity. That's the business opportunity right there, is how to build your own Patreon where all funds go directly to you. Cause that's what she's doing. She's basically, so it's like, make the Makeup Geek Academy Marlena Stell Patreon model. Follow what the fuck Patreon does, adapt that to your site, and then show other creators how to do that, so that moving forward, like, and here's the thing, you can kind of do the same thing, but also take the smallest cut, like take 5%, right? And then 95% goes to me as the creator. Girl, I'll sign the fuck up. If you can show me how to put all that together, I will sign the fuck up. I will be there, because I would be like, hell yeah, you're gonna get it to where I love how it said fuck up, and it's just, and then the CC had FUC and like didn't add the K, and I was like, and let it pass. But then I said fuck again, and it was like, oh no, we're gonna go ahead and block that. So, but I think that would have been good. I think that teaching people how to handle responding to comments on your social media platforms better, teaching people how to hire people, teaching people how to do business with friends. That's the kind of shit that a lot of creators would pay for, because I'm going to be fucking perfectly honest with you. Most of us do business with our friends. Most of us do. Like the Nick is not green situation. And all of that went down with that young lady whose name is escaping me right now because I didn't watch her content. But all of that is like the thing that went down with Super Mega and how they handled the SA allegations is very much because people are doing business with friends. So they don't have like the contracts and the know-how and the ability to understand how you would handle that if everyone is a friend. And in that instance, that's where having an outside HR company would be helpful. Like that's a spot where you'd be like, you know what, as I get bigger and bigger and have more and more business and have more stuff going on, I'm hiring more team members, I should hire an outside HR contact or an outside issue management company, whatever you want to call it, to handle these kinds of things. So that when something happens like this, I'm not stuck trying to figure out how to fix this with my friends. I'm not trying to figure out whose side I need to be on. This becomes they handle it over here, and I keep my business over here, and I put my friendships right here. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think that that's the kind of stuff that people need. What people need in this sphere is assistance with like how you handle business from like, I don't care about going viral or whatever. Like I'm sure some people do, but that's the real shit we need. Because if I blew up tomorrow, crisis manager, there you go, Dark Angel. But like if I blew up tomorrow, like let's say I get this video cut up, whatever, my shit just explodes. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it just keeps getting bigger. And before I know it, I have, 500,000 subscribers. I don't know how it happened. It's just wild. In this time frame, what I really need is assistance with handling business with friends. What I really need is assistance with knowing when I should expand and when I should contract. What I need is understanding like, can this person handle the business that I'm sending their way? What I need to understand is like how to renegotiate those contracts and be like, okay, so I know previously I was paying you per contract or per project, but now I actually need you to be here full time, and understanding how I handle that. Right? I need to understand that. Like, how do I go and tell somebody like, yeah, I need you full time, and we need to work out how many other people that you work with besides me, because I'm not trying to be in your bag, but we need to figure out how you handle that, because I'm going to need you 100%. I know you make money from other people, but this is what I need. I need help having to negotiate that. You said, okay, Bobby Flay. Like that's the shit that I need. And I think that a lot of content creators need that. And even small content creators. What do I do to get to the level to where I can have the kind of money to be able to hire somebody to help me create thumbnails, to help me edit my videos? How do I do that? And like not every single one, but like what do I do to make that happen? How do I find out rates? How do I find out what rates are reasonable for people to charge me? That's what people need. And if you can offer that, then fine. Not Emma Chamberlain Jean ad. Oh, snap. So I think that in the end, she did do a good job. She dispelled the myth. It's not an MLM. I feel comfortable and confident saying like, it's not an MLM. But I still wouldn't take the course. To me personally, even if I wasn't her number 2 hater now, I'll leave somebody else up in number 1. Even if I wasn't her number 2 hater, I just wouldn't take it, because that's a lot of money in a shitty economy. And if you're already a content creator, you're already probably, especially in the beauty sphere, spending a lot of money and not getting a lot in return. So I don't know that taking this course will help you to get that return on your investment. And that's not me saying anything shitty about her. That's just like me literally being like, the return on investment for most things is pretty low unless you just magically explode, unless you magically blow up one day. But yeah, I'd welcome a conversation with Marlena if she wanted to have one. I don't care. I'll talk to anybody. Y'all know. I mean, not anybody. There's people like I fucking will never talk to you because I don't like them as a person and as a content creator. Marlena, I just don't like as a content creator. I don't know her as a person enough to dislike her. So I would definitely enjoy having a conversation with her, being like, okay, so these are the things I think that you should do. What do you think about that? What do you think about that and me? I'm super smart and my brain works hard. So yeah, so I feel like this was a good time. This was a nice stream. I've enjoyed it. I feel like for the most part, it stayed kind of like nice and crispy. I feel like most of it stayed together. I just updated the internet, so I didn't get nearly as many. We got my mom bought Eero routers, and we got 2 of them. One of them's like directly up here, so I'm not experiencing as much like if I was white. Yeah, like that's the thing. I also think that that's the other thing too. If you're a person of color, like most of this stuff, and that again, this is no hate to her. This is just most of that shit is not going to work for you. So that is that. That was a lot. We did a lot of things. We had a lot of fun. Christmas is here. I'm working a lot. Thank you, Marlena Stell, for clearing this up. Thank you for allowing me to react to your video, even though you didn't really have a choice because I didn't ask you because we don't know each other. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to see y'all next time. Appreciate you for spending almost 3 hours of your time with me today. And until next time, I am so pretty and so are you.